Hello, guys. Dividend Enjoyer here, and today I kind of want to talk about why I decided to make a YouTube channel and why I think you guys should make a YouTube channel if you're really passionate about something. I know I haven't been uploading as consistently as I normally do just because there's been just some personal life stuff that's been happening, and I haven't had as much time to be able to make really concise, accurate videos. And I also think it's a very turbulent time for the market, so I'd rather wait until the weekend to give kind of a definitive opinion on a certain company or anything like that. Obviously, we've had the tariffs and other things. So I kind of want to save that for the weekend so that I can think about what I actually want to put out and what I think a fair valuation would be. But with all that said, the reason I started this channel originally was because in my current job, I don't really get the opportunity to do a lot of modeling, and I really miss doing that from college. And I think it's an important skill to be able to maintain and to be able to make informed decisions on investments. I also really think that there are a lot of people out there on YouTube, just in general, that are giving people really bad advice about how to think about the stock market and how to invest, because there's a lot more kind of value, or I guess you can get people's attention a lot easier by saying that everything's going awesome and that you can make millions of dollars overnight from investing with relatively small amounts of money, or saying that the sky's falling down and that everything's that's happening is going to be the end of the world and going to be the end of the market, and really sensationalizing finance. And I'm not a fan. So I really wanted a community of people that kind of had more of a Warren Buffett-esque type of approach to finance and investing, or just a very long-term approach. And there aren't really a lot of communities like that. I also really don't enjoy the current financial people that are on this platform in particular, because I think a lot of them are scammers, or I think a lot of them serve the function of being able to help people to get out of debt. And I think Dave Ramsey is the best example of that, and I think Dave Ramsey's content is pretty good, but I don't think he gives a really good approach for once you're completely out of debt and you have money to be able to invest, because he is a real estate guy and he's going to be more biased towards real estate. And for me, I think that real estate is too high risk and too much actually work that you're going to have to be doing on top of whatever job you're currently maintaining. I think that real estate can become a nightmare very quickly. So I'm not really a fan of that either necessarily. I think that a lot of his stuff is very good, though, for people who are going through credit card debt or any other types of debt. And I would absolutely recommend paying off any debts before you even start investing. So I really wanted to build a community of people that had a very long-term approach and be able to hone those skills, right? And, I'm really thankful for everyone here, because I'm very pleasantly surprised by the community I've built and the people that are here, because on the majority of my videos, it's been nothing but positive and nothing but good, really. I mean, there are a few people who will disagree with me. That I really was expecting to get a lot more hate, and kind of went into that with like a very thick skin. And the idea that people were going to be calling me an idiot because, I didn't like crypto. And some people do disagree with me on crypto, obviously. I'm just like blown away by the amount of kindness that I've gotten on the channel and the amount of people that want to listen to me and want to contribute. And I'm beyond thankful. And I really just have to say thank you to everyone who's tuned in. It's really meant a lot. It's been awesome so far, and we're in the really early stages of the channel. But I really just kind of had the crazy idea one night that I'm gonna make a video on one of the stocks that I hold. It's gonna be really bad, kind of on purpose, just so that I make the commitment to myself that I'm gonna do it. And I tried to upload every single day, but I didn't really beat myself up if I missed an upload here or there. It wasn't the end of the world, as long as I was pretty much getting close to 7 videos a week. I really just wanted to have a place where I could talk about the stocks that I thought were awesome, because They didn't really get a lot of coverage on CNBC or wherever else, and there weren't really a lot of people talking about the stocks that I really liked because they're really unremarkable when you think about it. Like Vici is one of the stocks that I'm super stoked about, and I just put $500 more in because it dipped below $30. And I really think that Vici is going to be a really amazing company for people that hold on to it for the long term and treat it like a farm or like owning your own business where you hold it for 20 years just because of the cash flow. And I've talked about it at length. You know, it's rare to be able to find someone who's talking about Vici on YouTube. I mean, there's a few, but it's not really a stock that gets the kind of coverage that Tesla gets, and I really think that the valuation on Tesla is ridiculous. And I'm not saying that because I dislike Elon Musk. I really do dislike Elon Musk, and I think he's the main reason that the stock is overvalued. But there's so much higher quality stuff out there that isn't being talked about. And I found some of that stuff just from the channel. I mean, I would have never known about Prologis. If I didn't have this channel, I probably would have kept my Apple position, which has just been hit harder than anything I would have held. I wouldn't have developed a thesis about a lot of the companies that I do hold. I wouldn't have taken the time to actually do a DCF analysis. And most importantly, I really wouldn't have gotten the support from all the fans, because it really means a lot with people who are fans of this type of content and who are here and watching the videos and who are getting something out of it. And that really is the biggest reward for me, is that people are tuning in and listening and happy to be here. And I really like it because it develops kind of a back and forth too, because you guys give me ideas for companies that I never would have considered, or ask questions that I really value, or give input that really helps me out to know that what I'm doing is something that's positive on the internet. And I never even had that. I had that thought, but I thought it was going to be more initially of like a forum type of thing, if that makes sense. Like I wanted to have basically like a big forum of people that were just discussing different finance related things and have the ability to refine my skills in modeling and doing things of that nature and researching companies and thinking about companies, because then I could kind of have the excuse of, I get to spend all this time researching this company. This is the coolest thing ever, because I'm really passionate about that kind of stuff. And I don't get to do that in my job, and I have no interest in living in New York. I'm not that kind of person. And no offense to anyone who does live in New York, but I didn't grow up that way, and I really don't like big, huge cities like that. And I think that the prices that they're charging people are absolutely ridiculous, and it would just be a totally terrible fit for me. And I decided pretty early on that even though I had some of the credentials to pack all my stuff and move over there, I would not want to go there. I know there are other investing firms kind of around me, but the industry also seems very cutthroat, and I don't really want the pressure of investing other people's money. My main goal with investing is to get to a point where I'm comfortable enough and I've contributed enough money to a portfolio that it's able to sustain me, and I have the security of being able to have true freedom from my money. I don't know about you guys, but I live well below my means, and I save a lot of money, and that's kind of my goal with that, right? And so in making this YouTube channel, I got the excuse to do that kind of job that I've always wanted to do. And in my ideal world, I would have enough money to be able to make stock analysis videos or just stock analysis myself, and be able to have enough money to put down into those companies and really kind of play the game at the scale that someone like Warren Buffett would do. But I'd never want to have the stress of borrowing money. I'm a big advocate of getting rid of all debts, and even I think you should even pay cash for a house if you're looking at buying a house, because I personally think mortgages are a scam. But this YouTube channel was a great way for me to kind of put my hobby out there and build up a community of people that were as passionate about this hobby as I am. And I think I've built up something that's already exceeded my expectations, because I've only been doing this for about 5 months, near there, since December. And I'm happier with how it's turned out than I ever thought it would. I mean, I thought at this point I'd be at maybe 200, maybe 100 subscribers. I didn't think I'd get the kind of engagement I get. I didn't think I'd get the kind of amazing fans that I'd get. I thought it'd be a lot of people who were just ghost subscribers who never said anything and who mostly just came to my video and criticized me. But I really do enjoy kind of these types of videos a little bit more, where I just get to kind of talk about my thoughts about a topic. I built out the stock analysis videos originally so that I'd have evergreen content, or content that people could just go back on years later and see kind of my thoughts, and then see what eventually ended up happening to that company, if I was right or wrong. Because I really like the idea too of having a video that makes a prediction, and then that prediction comes true or changes drastically based on something that I had no idea of happening, or that I was wrong on it. So then I can go back and see kind of my methodology of thinking in that time period and see if my methodology has changed, right? So I still think that basically all of my videos are still too new to be able to really go back and critique, because that's one of the things that I enjoyed the most about listening to old Berkshire Hathaway annual shareholder meetings. And my biggest advice to anyone who wants to learn more about finance or thinks that I have deficiencies in what I'm putting out is to go back and listen to those 3-hour-long Berkshire Hathaway annual shareholder meetings, because that's where I got some of the most knowledge and passion about it, not the current ones. I would say the ones from like the 1990s, early 2000s, before the 2008 crash, because you can see kind of back then what Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger were thinking, and it actually becomes true to some extent into the future. And it's amazing to see that that's really what stock analysis and investing is it's trying to risk mitigate and find companies that long-term are going to do very well, and being very realistic with your own capabilities and understandings. And I think that they have the best grasp on this out of any investors. And they give great life advice too. And that was something that I really valued. And I kind of wanted to try and do that myself, make these predictions about these stocks and see if I'm right on that. And I also think that the portfolio reviews are kind of good ways of doing that too, because I'm kind of giving you guys my full insight on all of my investments on a weekly basis. I really think that I probably should do it on a monthly basis if I really am true to wanting to do it like that. But in truth, I really like making the videos too every week to kind of see what's happened this week. So it's kind of like a cool time capsule for me. I'm trying to think of what else about the YouTube channel that I'm really valuing. So sometimes too, I really do just like putting out like a goofy video, even if it doesn't get any views. Like, I really think that the EA video I made was probably my best edited, highest effort video, and it has maybe 25 views, something like that. But it was just a really fun video to make about a company that I really don't think will be successful in the future, despite having a very high valuation. I think it's a total value trap. But that video was really fun to make, and it got almost no views. And then the Funko Pop video was the other video that I had a ton of fun making, because the more I thought about it, the more I thought this is a ridiculous company to be putting a ton of money into, because you just have no idea about the licensing. And I also just think that those figures are kind of ridiculous when you think about it, because people might be very passionate about buying one, but there are truly people who collect them. And, I'm not hating on you if you are a Funko Pop collector, but I am a little bit. I'm throwing a little bit of shade. But that video was just so much fun because the idea of like putting all of your eggs into the Funko Pop basket is just very funny to me. And, I've had some videos too that have performed very well that I didn't think would perform well at all, and I didn't put the same amount of crazy effort into, but I guess that there's just a lot of people that are looking for this video. Or I think the best example of a video that was very poorly done was my original energy transfer video, and I believe that that's the second most watched video on the channel. And so I think that that's very funny that, and my other energy transfer video is like one of the most watched videos on the channel that's higher quality, more up to date because it has the most recent quarter's results and everything like that. But the original one, I had my old mic with bad quality. I didn't even do a DCF analysis, I don't think, on it. And I think I screen recorded the actual like PowerPoint that I was doing. But that video is very successful because there's a lot of interest about energy transfer, and a lot of these other big stock channels don't cover the stock. And I think it's still, personally, again, unprofessional, not financial advice opinion, is that the stock's going to perform very well, and I'm still holding a lot of it. So I just think it's very weird how YouTube works. I don't think I've fully grasped how it works, but I'm very glad that I have this as a hobby to kind of just do something else with my time that I feel like is very productive, and that I'm still able to learn, and that I'm getting all these great people who are very, very nice and positive, because I'm very used to, people on social media being very toxic. This is really the only social media I have. And I'm loving every minute of it. I'm loving that I can be anonymous on it too, and kind of just put out the thing that I want, and that people will listen to it and enjoy it. And yeah, that's kind of everything I have about why I started my YouTube channel. I know it's been like a big ramble fest, but those are the videos I really enjoy making too, where I can just kind of talk about a topic, whether it's financial or otherwise, and give my thoughts on it, because I really like hearing what other people's insights are on it too. And it's more fun for me to be able to just kind of get on the mic and make a video with Red Dead Redemption 2 background visuals or whatever visuals, and kind of cut up the audio and make some edits, and just kind of hear back what you guys think on my thoughts, because I think it makes me a better investor, and it makes me have better insights and understand what you guys want. So that's why I make the YouTube videos. Just overall, I think it's been super fun. I really appreciate everyone who's been here and ridden it out with me. And I hope that I can keep making really fun, either stock analysis videos, thoughts about the market, news about the market, and just overall make good videos that I like to make. So thank you so much for watching to this point. I know it's been a ramble fest, so I apologize. It wasn't super structured, but I thought I'd push something out and just kind of give you guys context into why I made the channel. But yeah, have a great rest of your week. I hope you guys' lives are going well. If they're not, it'll get better. And just know, no matter how bad it is, it can always get worse, right? So I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you spending your time here. I'm really thankful to have this as a hobby. Thank you. Bye.